Welcome back. There are 19 regional Emmy chapters in the U.S., and the one that covers our region held its annual award ceremony this past weekend. As Northern News Now's Dave Anderson reports, earning an Emmy is much more than a bunch of broadcasters patting themselves on the back. It's about striving for journalistic excellence.
Getting nominated for a regional Emmy is like scoring a top 10 hit on the Billboard chart. Winning that trophy is like getting #1. The Upper Midwest Emmy chapter gathered in Prior Lake over the weekend. It was a noisy affair with broadcasters from the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Iowa competing. Small stations like ours go up against places 10 times bigger like Minneapolis.
And the fact that we got 11 nominations competing against the best of the best just shows you the people that we have here in Duluth.
Nominations and award winners for the Upper Midwest are decided by judges in other Emmy chapters around the country. The Emmy Award was created in 1955 by the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Its goal is to encourage broadcasters to create quality content that makes a difference in viewers' lives. Laura Lee and photographer Adam DeMuth did that with a story about homeless youth, and they took home a trophy in the Children, Youth, Teen category.
We're so happy that they were willing to share their stories. We had a homeless youth teenager, a young woman share her story with us, brave woman to share her story with us. A big issue, and we're so glad we were able to share that.
Northern News Now News Director Michael Baldwin was just elected Vice President of the Upper Midwest Emmy chapter, which means our little station that could will be getting a lot of coaching in upholding the Emmy goal of quality broadcasting.
We have some spectacular journalists, spectacular people behind the scenes that are really doing great work. And that's really what you have in this small city that we call home.
As many a Northland sports fan has already said, there's always next year. In Prior Lake, Dave Anderson, Northern News Now.
Thanks, Dave. And our Northern News Now's nominees this year included former employees like Rob Coles and Briggs LaSavage, and both had time to join our colleagues down there in Prior Lake.
Very exciting. Huge congrats to Laura Lee and Adam DeMuth. My gosh.
Such a great story.
Yes.
So hard.
Amen. I think next year is the year of the 4 o'clock news here. But we'll see if we can get an Emmy next year, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Knock on wood.
We appreciate you joining us. We'll see you after the break.